handmade.net. If you haven't already, make sure that you guys are liking and sharing this video, and subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss out on our crafting that is coming your way. I am dewy today. But we're going to take a second just to make sure that everything is up and that it's all sharing on our social media platforms. So if you're joining us live, can you tell me where you're seeing us from, as in what state, what country, and what platform? Can you do that for me? And go ahead and comment. I'm going to double check while we are here together. Let me see. I know it shows that I'm live. Let's see, you guys, hold on. Our internet has been tremendously slow, so we've actually not been able to do a lot of what we'd want to be doing, and it's seriously affecting every aspect of our day-to-day life. And it's amazing how we get to, hold on, how dependent we are on technology. It just goes to show. So let's hit shift at there we go. I'm just making sure that you guys can hear me on all the platforms, and I hope that that is true. We have a fabulous card today to create with you. I see you guys are popping on. I want to make sure you can hear me. Let's just see. Shift at. Yep. You can hear me. That's always good. Hi, Bonnie. Nice to see you. So I've thrown on my little Santa elf hat, my little crafty elf, but it's hot. It's hot because we have no air conditioning, because I'm taking this bad boy off. We are, which is funny because you're not talking to me, but I can hear better with it off. How weird is that? But we are in the middle of construction, and between weather in Indiana, which is amazingly not dependable, to other glitches, we have no air conditioner. Our air conditioner is currently sitting right now in a field of my cut flower garden. That's what it's doing, you guys. That's what it's doing. So if you haven't already, like and share that video. We look forward to creating with you. Today is Christmas in July. So on the hottest day in my studio, which is awful, they promised me that tomorrow we're going to be hooked up with our air conditioning again. Their solution for one of the gentlemen was to hang it off of my eaves, my whole unit hanging. I asked that not be the case. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Only a boy would come up with that kind of rationale. I love it. I don't know many girls that would be like, yeah, let's try to hang it with rope off of an eave. No. So I'm hoping that they will finish the work on the one side that they're hoping to tomorrow, so that we are ready for another rain series that's coming through. You have to love it. You have to love it. Okay, I see Lindsay. Hey, honey bunny, how you doing? I am scratching my eye. We are going to create today a little bit nod to the colder season with our Christmas card. And this is one of those cards that I absolutely love because it rocks. It rocks and rolls, and it's going to stand out from any kind of card that you send either right now or through the holiday season. So this is really an exciting card that I appreciate. Hi, sweetie pie. You know, I think about your mom all the time, Lindsay. She made me a little pin guard with some pins, and it's always here. She's like in 3 or 4 places in my studio. And so I love that. And there's actually a picture of her on my wall over there, just so you know. Your mom is always with us. So we're going to rock and roll today. I know it's a little crooked. It's in my hand, just like so. And we're going to spread a little bit of joy. So join me today as we jump right on in to create this amazing and easy handmade card that you can send out for the holidays. And you can starting now for your Christmas season. And that's my goal. And my assistant and I plan to do the same thing and work on it so that when the holidays roll around, we're all ready to go. Our holiday cards never went out last year. They were stuck under a table with boxes placed in front of it with all of our stamps and my address book. So we now have a giant box of cards that we made last year with over 200 cards that never got mailed. You have to love life and my family. But we're going to jump in right now to create. So let's go ahead and Again, if you haven't already, make sure that you like and share this video. Let's zoom in and we're going to dive on in. Now, one of my favorite die sets, you guys, is our deckled circle dies. Our deckled and layered dies are amazing. So we're going to be using the two of the largest of the two dies that come in a large collection. Now, this is going to be larger than the standard card front. Talk about the flexibility, and it's huge. Look at all of these dies. How many do we get? Is it like something astronomical? Hold on, let's see here. I never want to misquote, but I know we have a ton of dies in here. 14 different layering sizes, which makes it easy for crafting. So to make things easier, I've already die cut in the basic white, the thicker of the biggest of the circles right there. And then I did a night of navy already for us, these smaller circles. So they should layer just like that you see right here. Also, my sweet daughter made dinner tonight, and it was a bit oily, and so she brought it up here while I was working in my studio, and I feel like there's a fingerprint or two, and I really want to combust. If you can see it, it's a little schmooch right there, and I can show you how we can fix anything with this kind of card right here. Now, this might be a technique or two that you haven't done, or if you've done it, it's a great way to revisit it. So that's pretty easy and fun. Now we're taking the Night of Navy cardstock, and we're going to take this basic white. Take the basic white cardstock first, fold it, and just give it a little pinch. Give it a little pinch. If you haven't heard right now, Stampin' Up! Is giving bonus dollars that are going to be able to spend in August. So if you want to gather your bonus bucks right now, this is a great time to shop with Stampin' Up! And it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. So now we've made like a little mouth right there of the Muppets for you guys. And then we're going to take the Night of Navy and we're going to do the same. I actually really appreciate that this has like this unique textured circle that goes all the way around, so that it's going to create interest in a card like this, but you can do it with any layering dies, just so you know. So we have the blue of the Night of Navy, which is one of my favorite colors. Now, I've been up here for hours and hours trying to figure out what to do, and I kept coming back to this stunning ribbon that carried over from the last mini catalog, the navy and gold sparkle organza ribbon. It just said holidays to me today. And so all the different stuff I was doing just wasn't working, but that's okay. And then this is the other embossing folder that I absolutely love. It's the Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder, and we're going to be using that today. So there's two sides to an embossing folder. You want to look for the side for the embossing that has the line and the words for Stampin' Up! On the front. We're going to lay the Night of Navy across the front of this right here. Go right there. Now, if you find in your crafting and you might have some oil on your hands, I was in some Muay Thai kickboxing today, and so I was sweaty and I took a shower, and I now have all of the lotion accoutrements on my face. You can take your embossing buddy and pat your fingers to absorb your oils. Believe it or not, it's kind of a cool thing. Then we're going to grab our cut and emboss machine, and we're going to use this two different ways right now, my friends. We're going to come in and you're going to remove all of the 3 layers on top and place your embossing folder. One of the things I really appreciate about Stampin' Up! Is how large our embossing folders are. They make that so flexible to create a lot of unique creations and have a continuity to it, a really consistent line of crafting. So if you guys haven't, the measurements are not on my blog right now, but the supplies that you need are either in the description on Facebook or on my blog at gettingcrafty.net. And so you can see that here. The line was already scored ahead of time, which is going to give me some more flex. If I were to try to emboss it now with, or make an impression with our embossing bone folder, we would have squished the image down, and I really didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. And so on a hot day like today, we're also going to take the time to die cut. So we're going to remove this embossing folder, set that bad boy aside, and then we're going to take the Forever Forest. Yes, the Forever Forest dies. And it's a gorgeous die set that you're going to see right here. And I'm going to grab these 3 trees. Now, it's kind of fun. You can do even more trees, but I have a little folktale story. If you haven't found it, you need to do so. It's called The Tale of the 3 Trees. It's a beautiful, especially if you're Christian, it's a beautiful story that you should have in your house as a mom or as a potential grandmother. You name it. It's one of those sets that I would read to my kids over and over. And I actually read it at a camp event that we did with our church once, where all the families were camping together. We're going to die cut as well the little stars that you're seeing right here and a moon. And the parents were on the edge of their seat with my story, and they all went and ordered it afterwards. And so it's one of my favorite stories. If you guys are ever curious, I usually give it at every baby shower. So I think it's one of those absolutely priceless stories to have right there. And we're going to go, you can go forward or back. You don't really have to, my friends. You don't. But this is going to be your best bet. Get one of these tools. You're going to laugh, and Bonnie knows me well. While I was standing here, the moon image popped off and bounced and like tink, 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 tink. Let me tell you, my studio we've been cleaning is not up to tink, 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 tink. I'm just going to be honest. It's not. You could find a little die like that being gone in a moment's notice. So there you go. We're going to use this cut plate. Now, I use one plate over and over and use it on the bottom of my cut and emboss machine. And then I'm going to stick this here. These are little. And I didn't put the magnet yet on my series there, so I don't want to lose it. But because there's texture here from previous die cuts, I can pull these off. I'm using my Take Your Pick tool with the add-on tips because I really love, love, love these little tips. And I encourage you guys, can you make 100 Christmas cards or 50 or 20 in the summertime and be ready to go before the holidays hit? Think about it if you have a business or if you just want to be the one that sends the cards first this year. That's always my goal. It's my goal. And this will be the way to do so. And we're going to use the texture on this to kind of grab all of the images, just like that. You can flip it over, see that there's nothing there. Boom shakalaka, baby. That's an official term, in case you didn't know. So we're going to dive in right now. If you're commenting on Facebook, there's a good chance I will not always see the comments. So if I'm not acknowledging you, it's not intentional. It's welcome to social media. There we go. I'm going to move my cut and emboss machine to the side because we don't need it anymore. So there you go. Now, at a recent class that we did for our mystery stamping, I was playing with our white craft pads. And this is one of my favorite pads to do. It comes, hi Jean! It comes blank and a refill comes with it. And so you're going to want to make sure that you use both and don't lose them. Then you're going to take a sponge dauber. And I've already put the ink on this here, and it's thicker. My daughter was tripping out on it. She was like, Mom, this doesn't ink right. And it just inks differently because it's a craft ink. And when snow comes in, it's almost always swirly. So we're going to use my fingernails here. You can see some of the craft ink on my fingers. And we're going to do some swirls. And this is going to remind me of much like you would see a snowstorm. I love the variance in the sky. If you want this to be absolutely perfect, this may drive you a little bonkers. But I like the shadows. I like the swirl that you see here of it. One of my favorite things about winter is the snow. I love it. I know a lot of people don't, and I know Bonbons on here probably doesn't, but a lot of people complain about it. I just find it magical. I did not grow up with snow. I lived in California for the majority of my life, and it's one of my favorite things. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I love every season. I don't think there's anything about it. Even on a hot day like today where it's muggy for sure, I am okay with my first world problems of not having air conditioning. Okay, this is my secret. This kind of card here, I actually elongated the Christmas tree on the front on purpose. So this is going to create a really point of interest where the tree is hanging above. You don't have to do that. But this is equal and will fit inside of an envelope. So I wanted you to see that. It will fit inside of a standard envelope, but it's shorter. This is a great card to make a big impression without having a lot to say. You can literally just flip it open and write a note. Now, this is the kind of card that you can't just lay them flat to write. So you're going to want a little ink pad or a book. So when you flip it, I want you guys to see this here. When you flip it, your little raised piece doesn't actually hit the surface and get bent. And then we stamped on the inside joy. Now, joy is one of my favorite words. I have it tattooed on me, which is controversial for some people, but I like you anyway, so don't worry. We're going to grab the Knight of Navy that you see right here. And I'm going to stamp it before I assemble it. You can even write in it before you assemble it as well, because this is not a card that's going to lay flat. When you've stacked these 2 circles, this is pretty much as far as it's going to open. Just like that. It's enough to write a note, and it'll sit on their counters and it will rock. And it'll rock for quite a while. Look at that. I would have this on my desk if I had an office and just like play with it, because that's my little ADHD happy brain for you. We're going to take this Joy with a classic letters photopolymer set. This is available online, exclusive with Stampin' Up. And it's one of those that you should have in your repertoire. Not only does it have the numbers and the letters, but double vowels and double L, double P. It gives you this flex that you can really use it for so many reasons and personalize any project that you're doing. Now we have Joy. Now, if you wanted to write these in here, you can, or just keep a book with you while you're writing it and place this so that the book is sitting on it. And when you open it, you still have room to write. I do like to add a personal note into each of the hundreds of cards I send every year. Though, again, my cards didn't get sent out all last year. So there is that. Okay, so we're going to take this piece here. You're going to use your fingers. And if I were creating a mass stack of cards, what I would do is do all the pieces separate is what I would do. I'm going in, I'm kind of circling around, but not going to the edge that you guys see right there. And I'm going to see which side I like more. There's one side with less, one side with more. I'm going more because everything I do is going to be a little extra, my friends. And then I just kind of wiggle it so that it's as close to center as I can get it. Right there. And the multi-purpose liquid adhesive is one of my favorite adhesives for this reason. It's going to give us a little bit more flexibility about where we place the card stock. Now you can see as we're going to go flat, it really does bow up. Can you see that right there where it bows up? So it gives you room to write, but not a ton of space to have to do. So it's going to make its own impression. You don't have to do a ton with this card. And you're welcome for it, quite honestly. We're going to take the tallest of the trees and a little bit of our multi-purpose liquid adhesive. Now, I don't want to go all the way up because I want it sticking above. Again, that'll be a little bit more delicate. But if you were sending this and you were worried about it getting bent inside of the envelope, all you have to do is stick a piece of 4 1/4 by 5.5 piece of cardstock in there to really just support it. So we're going to go in and do that right there. How are you guys doing today? Jean, are you near? I know you were in California. Are you near any of those fires that I heard happening? I was checking with you. Lindsay, how are you guys doing? I saw your little guy had a birthday just recently. Gosh, your mom was so proud of that kid. And you. We're going to plop this little tree on. If you haven't found the book, The Tale of the Three Trees, get it. Get it, have faith. If you have children, grandchildren, just people in your life, it's an amazing gift to have. But really, it's a gorgeous story about 3 trees and the life of Christ. Again, one of my favorite stories ever. I think it's so beautifully written. And it's an old folk tale. So there's no actual person who wrote it that we can actually track it to. So there is that. Now, we're going to take these stars and, oh, some of them are missing. There's a couple that are flipped over, but that's okay. Then we're going to take our Take Your Pick tool and we're going to get a little creative. Very, very lightly, my friends. We're going to place that moon just right here. And I'm going to take the pokey tip this time and kind of dig in. And actually, you know what I like to do sometimes? Is I'll grab just a smidge of adhesive on the end of my pokey piece just to help grab it. Today was quite the hoot, you guys. Oh, there we go. No, yep, north and south of us. Praise the Lord. We've had a big one too close for about 3 weeks. Oh, I hate that. You live 60 miles east of San Francisco. Girl. So, have you been there your whole life, Jean? Because I grew up my whole life in California, and we did not have fire seasons growing up. Just in case anybody's wondering about California, that is not something that they had when we were growing up. At all. Like, at all, you guys. That's a newer development from the state, and I could go on about that, quite honestly. We're not going to, because we try not to get super political here. There we go. We're going to grab this one here. Now it actually die cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm only seeing 4. I could have very well dropped it, or is it on my plate? Oh, my plate's right there. Huh. No, I see 6. There's just 2 were turned over because they're white. There you go. We're doing the smallest amount. See, there was that one of those missing ones. The smallest amount of adhesive. You want less than you think that you possibly need. And we're going on texture here. You grew up in England. Oh, I love that. I have a lot of good friends that live over in the UK. And I just love that, sweets. A friend of mine, his grandmother, or his aunt just passed away, and she met her husband in a World War II, and he was a serviceman who fell in love with her. She married him and then came over to the United States and had to figure out how to live in Indiana. And she said that the Americans have the world's worst beer, and I have to laugh because I believe it. I actually love German beer. Don't get me started. Okay. And then I want to put one more star somewhere, but maybe up here a little bit just to kind of balance it. Now, this set actually comes with dies for clouds, and I really debated putting a couple of white clouds kind of like where it half on the card, half not. I just don't think that I needed to. I really want the focal point to be that soft white that you see right there from the sponge dauber and the gold and the navy. This to me says like Christmas-y. Yes, they do. You're right. It's terrible beer here. It is. So this card is really pretty, but we want to take it up a notch. So it's going to be full of joy. And it's a little bit of dash and sass, which is totally me. But we're going to take that ribbon. We are going to take that ribbon, you guys, and we're going to tie a little sachet of the runway. Now, this is one of my favorite bows to do, which is not a bow at all. If you guys haven't, make sure that you like and share this video and subscribe. I know that most of you have. So we're going to go in just like this. And then I have ribbon shears. So I have snips that are specifically used only for ribbon. And I attach ribbon to it, usually something that's in bright red, so that my people that attend my class know this, so that I see them easily and I use it. Then I'm going to cut it kind of at a sachet sideways. No joke, as I'm up here crafting, as there's a little fan blowing on me right now, you guys. And it is the cutest fan. Do you want to see this fan? Look at this fan. Let me see if I can get it up here. It's the cutest little fan. It works. It's like the world's mightiest little fan. But my fingernail broke while I was up here. I was petting my puppy. She came up and it just broke off. And I thought, that's the kind of day Mom's having. You guys, that's the kind of day this girl is having, that's for sure. So we're going to open this up. We're going to get a mini glue dot that you guys see here, this one here. You can grab it with your take your pick tool, and you can place it down here. Right there. Take your little sachet bow, place it on there, and it looks like you tied it to that tree, and you didn't. Easy peasy. I know, isn't that a great fan, Jean? I love that fan. And it's not so loud. I mean, I'm sure you guys can sometimes hear it, but not so loud. But look at this. This is the kind of card that's going to rock and roll. It's going to bring somebody some joy. And this is an easy way you can translate this to any kind of things. A birthday card, a graduation, a retirement, a Father's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas, you name it. There is so many that you can do with this right here. That it's just, why not translate? Oh, what the heck happened? Hold on. We didn't recognize your device. That's good to know. Thank you so much. So what do you guys think? Do you like it? Do you love it? You can really make it a lot more white if that's something you wanted. I wanted the snowflakes to kind of appear in the back. Do you guys want to see my boo-boo? Do you want to see what I did not like? Let me see if I can find it. It's right here. Maybe I threw it away, but I don't know where it went. Huh. Oh, I might have thrown it away downstairs. I had taken a brayer to it, and it did not translate. So don't go that route. It just didn't translate the way I had thought that it would. So there is that, you guys. that's our crafting for today for Christmas in July. We have a Christmas in July card class coming up with 20 beautiful Christmas cards in one fun day. It's available online and in person. So if you're interested, make sure you check it out on my blog at gettingcrafty.net. That's gettingcrafty.net. And you'll see all the supplies on my description in YouTube and on my blog again. And what is your favorite part of this card? Is it the moon? I actually love the stars and the moon in this, but those snowflakes being like the soft texture that you see right there, and my nails look perfect for this card, really. And then the gold trees, I just think that's beautiful. You could doll this up with some great rhinestones or pearls, you name it, and you can make those trees into Christmas trees if you wanted. But I love the elegance of this. And again, if you haven't already, go get yourself that story, The Tale of the Three Trees, one of my favorites. So I appreciate you guys. Mwah! God bless. Thanks for joining me this evening. I hope that this brings you a little bit of joy, just like it did me. And I'm glad to be here with you guys. Hopefully our internet will be up and I should be able, I do love the gold trees too, Jean. I should be able to upload those videos. We have, my husband's works from home, so he gets all the quality internet time while I don't. So there is that. So hopefully this weekend you guys will have quite a few posts uploaded with some great tutorials that are coming your way. And I'd love to see what your favorite is. Make sure you comment and let me know. And go ahead, spread some joy and rock and roll. Look at that, you guys. So easy. Well, of course it fell over on my hand. That's like a California girl with a little bit of an earthquake. So there you go. Thanks you guys for joining me.